This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Legacy Woodworks, handcrafted woodworks from Argyle, Texas. It's Monday, March 27th, 2023. I'm Aaron, and this is my very sawdust-covered co-host, Chris.
Hello. I love sawdust.
So dusty. And we'd like to welcome you back to Another Great Day, the podcast designed intricately in a lathe to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. Sorry, I'm trying to work all these like woodwork things in there. Skill saw.
You're doing great. Let's keep going.
Jigsaw. Let's go. All right. Well, Chris, a great day it is, I'd say. And I know we're a day late on this, but I'd like to give a special birthday shout out to one of our listeners, Mr. Micah Irwin. Happy birthday, man. You're great.
Let's hit it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we're going to move on to our opening segment, We'll Discuss. That's right. You made up the topics and we'll have to discuss them. So let's spin the wheel and see what's going on. All right. The wheel of topics is spinning. It's spinning as we speak. And today's game is going to be called Alien Observer. That's right. Alien Observer. Aliens watching and describing mundane human activity. Wow, this is one of our newest topics, and it just got chosen. Now, which host is going to have the guts to be the alien observer? And it's Chris. My favorite. I love it when Chris has to do this. All right, Chris, you are an alien observer. You have come down to Earth, and you are tasked with following Chris Taylor for a few hours. And you're watching him through your alien telescope, and Chris is making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
All right.
You have to report back to Mothership.
Alien Commander, we have seen the humanoids. And there was one in particular that decided to go into this wooden structure. It looked like what some might say a home, but we're not quite sure. And from inside the window, we saw this human person grab metal, pieces of metal.
Are they sharp?
The one was sharp, and he stuck it into this dinosaur oil that had been formed into a small receptacle.
So he's violent. He's harming the oil.
No, the oil was hardened over some kind of process that these humans do, and they put colors all around it. It said things like Jiffy and crunchy, or it was confusing. We didn't know what it meant. He stuck this piece of metal into this and pulled out this weird, strange, tan brown substance. It was not pleasant looking.
Sounds gross.
And then he wiped it on the old burned seeds from grass.
And that was the last we ever saw of Chris before he was immediately abducted for being extremely good at making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We'll miss you, Chris. Moment of silence for Chris. All right, well, that'll bring us to this day in history. On to the learning. Here we go. On this day in 1724, Jane Colden was born. That's right, the first female botanist in America. Now, you are all probably wondering to yourself, what is a botanist? Well, I'm glad you asked. A botanist is somebody who loves and studies plants. You know those green things that your parents are always telling you need to eat during your dinners and stuff like that? Yeah, plants. Also, look outside. You ever seen a tree? That's a plant. They take care of plants. Botanists take care of plants, and they learn all about the different types of plants in the world. So some people might think botanists are boring because, it's like, hey, what can a plant do? Venus flytrap? It might bite you, but if you're not a fly, you probably are not at risk. But imagine your job is to just look at what God has made and to study it. How cool is that? All day long, focusing on how creative and endlessly, meaning there is no end. It's a well that never goes to the bottom. It's a bottomless pit of imagination. And that's what God has. Sounds pretty cool to me. A little bit like heaven.
And that'll do it for this day in history.
Thanks, Chris. Well, this next segment is called the question of the day. If you're new to this, we'll ask a question and we're going to encourage you to take a minute to answer the question with those around you. All right. Today's question is, if you could study or learn about something every day for the rest of your life, what would it be? We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the discussion question of the day. If you could learn or study one thing for the rest of your life every day, what would it be and why? I'm going to pick something silly, Chris.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to pick the X-Men, the comic book, the X-Men.
Wow.
Yep. I used to enjoy going on Wikipedia and looking up a certain character and then following kind of different links, learning about different characters. X-Men has so many characters that I feel like I could probably never reach the end of it. Would it help me in life? No, it would not. Would it help me with skills? It would not. But would it be a lot of fun? It would be a lot of fun for me. So I'm going to study the X-Men every single day for the rest of my life.
I'm going to confess, there is something that I have also gone down the rabbit trail on. It is cameras.
Cameras?
I can look at information about new, old, semi-old, used, like announcements of cameras, photo and video cameras. I want to know all of the information about them. I don't know why. I could just spend hours looking at it, comparing, going back to old ones I've looked up before and re-looking at them, being things like, what could this camera do? Why am I looking at it again?
That's amazing. Well, speaking of cameras, I learned a fun fact about cameras. You know the company Kodak?
Yes.
You know, they were called, I think, Eastman Kodak for a long time.
Correct. Yes.
Did you know that Eastman is actually one of the two partners?
Yep.
The other partner was not named Kodak. It was just a word he thought sounded cool. I don't know what the other partner's name even was, but it wasn't Kodak at all.
That's interesting.
Yep. So there you go. And that's the kind of free information you get here on another Great Pew Pew Day podcast. That's right. We bring you the finest. All right. Well, let's take a quick break and check in with our dad joke correspondent on location. Wes, I'm curious. How are you feeling today? And what is that you're sitting on? Take it away.
Hey, Aaron and Chris. Don't feel great today. I think I'm going to stay home. But anyways, I think a big stump. Hold on. Someone's coming to the door. Knock, knock. Hey, who's there? Goat. Goat who? Go to the door and find out. Chris, hey!
Hey, it's me!
Hey, Chris, what's 1 Deleu plus 1 Deleu?
1 Deleu plus 2 what? I don't know.
Toodaloo! See you later! Have another great day!
Well, Chris, you know everybody loves a good knock-knock joke.
Well, and in lieu of a joke, I say we just move on.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to another great day. I'm Aaron, and that's Chris, and we're glad you're here. This part of our show is called The Word of Wisdom, and this is where we usually take a minute to go through a proverb or wise saying and then give you our take. Now, today's Word of Wisdom is actually a short story. So from our brains to your ears, here it is.
The botanist, a woman with a heart full of wonder, embarked on a walkabout in a local forest on a chill, damp, gray day. She was accompanied by a young child who was not particularly thrilled about spending time with the botanist. As they made their way through the serene landscape, the botanist tried to engage the child in conversation. "Look at this beautiful forest," she said. "Isn't it amazing how God created all these trees and plants?" The child was still unimpressed and barely responded. But just as they were about to give up and head back, something unexpected happened. A sudden gust of wind blew through the forest, sending leaves and tree branches shaking. The botanist and the child took cover under a large tree trunk created by an embankment. As the wind died down, They emerged from their shelter to find that the forest was transformed, no longer gray and damp, but sunbeams now danced across the foliage in a wild and playful manner, creating a magical atmosphere. Warm air swirled particles and dust, cutting between the trunks and ferns. The botanist's eyes lit up as she noticed a new plant, unlike any she had ever seen before. She felt grateful for the moment of serenity that God had created in this ordinary yet wondrous place. The botanist whispered, "How many are your works, Lord? In wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." The child, now intrigued by the magical atmosphere and the botanist's excitement, eagerly joined in the exploration. With care and reverence, the botanist examined the new plant, noting every detail. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity to witness the beauty of nature and discovering something new.
Great job, Chris. That's an excellent story. Well, let's cue the music and wrap things up. Our mission here is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
Well, whatever you discuss, we just hope you make it another
Great
day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let me read it. I'll read it.
You wrote it. I think you should read it.
All right. We need
Or
to
we
find...
can take turns. Sorry.
I think it'd make more sense to just go for it.
Okay.
One of us.
Should I make sound effect noise in the back to help?
There's a storm in it, so you got to do a whole storm.
Man.
What, a goat?
Meow. Kitty cat.
It sounded like you were brushing your teeth and then there was a goat that appeared.
Is that what was our horse's name again? Goat? It's Goat. It's Goat. Our
Goat's
mini
back.
horse. He's back. I missed him. All right, sorry. All right.
That's
and
all right. Here, I'll go for it. Thank you.
The end.